What's up, guys? Welcome to another Monday edition of the Billboard's Hot 100 Top 10 Countdown. I'm Trevor.
I'm Gary.
And as you guys know, this is the place every week where you find out the Hot 100's top 10 before anybody else.
Yep. So we weren't here last week.
Unfortunately, no.
Some of our video team was in Miami for the Billboard Latin Music Awards.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was a fun time.
It sounds like I wouldn't know I wasn't there, but
But it was a busy top 10. Humble by Kendrick Lamar went to #1. So that was big.
Yeah.
Could there be another #1 that's different this week? Is it still #1? Ed Sheeran was #1 for a long time.
yeah, all in the mix. We also had a huge jump last week from courtesy of Justin Bieber helping out Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee on the remix of Despacito, which hit the top 10 last week as well, made a huge jump. People really, digging the song.
Yeah, and there were some songs below the top 10 that you guys have been asking about. Maybe one of them hits the top 10 that you might be excited about.
It's a new month. It's a new chart. Let's get started. Here we go. This week Gary first.
All right, I'll go first. Number 10. There it is. Kygo, Selena Gomez. It ain't me. I have to tweet it.
I say your Twitter prayers have been
All
answered.
the fans who've been asking. Goes top 10, up for number 13. So it took 11 weeks to get to the top 10. But
Has the song been out for 11 weeks already?
It's been on the chart for 11 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So it got to number 11, so I know a lot of people were worried. It's going to peak at number 11. It's one of the worst numbers you can peak at. 21141. We always say those are the numbers you don't want to stop at because you want to be #1, you want to be top 10, you want to be top 40.
Yeah.
So it hits the top 10 this week, goes 13 to 10. It's Kygo's first top 10 ever. So congratulations to Kygo. And Selena Gomez, she knows the region. Top 10 for a 7th time. It's her first since We Don't Talk Anymore with Charlie Puth last year. First as lead artist since Hands to Myself last year.
Yeah, Revival had 3 top 10s on it last year, so definitely a nice string for her.
Yep.
And good to see.
Ever since Come and Get It, 2013, she's had all 7 top 10s since then.
Was that her first one, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. I thought something before. Well, yeah. Okay.
Not a bad run.
Nice. So, okay, in 4 years, that's good.
All right, I've tweeted it. It's official.
All right, here Selena's out there. All the Selena fans, Selenators are ecstatic on that. So we'll keep climbing up, moving up to number 9 this week on the Hot 100. We got EXO Tour Life by Lil Uzi Vert, which is up 1 spot from number 10 last week. Remember, it got to number 8 2 weeks ago, so still hovering around its peak overall. Really been driving up, like a lot of rap songs we've seen in the top 10 lately, thanks to social media, viral challenges. This one in particular, the Lil Uzi Vert challenge, just kind of the dance move that I'm sure, again, everybody's been seeing on social media, really responsible for the rise here. It's number 6 in streaming this week, pulling up 36 million streams for the week in the U.S. It's crazy.
Yep. We talked about all the rap that's in the top 10. Another song at number 8. Big rap hit, got to number 4 on the Hot 100, down this week from number 6.
Double your dose of rap.
Yep. In fact, you did a story, Trevor, on how much rap there is in the top 10.
Yeah, there were 5 rap songs in the top 10 of the Hot 100 last week. The first time we'd seen that in 4 years, since 2013. And we'll keep on climbing. We'll see if we can actually match that total this week.
Yes. So, yes, at number 8, another rap hit, down from number 6, got to number 4. Hit the chart. Do your Fonzie. Hitting the charts.
I wish I could, we got number 8 this week. Our friends.
Maybe it's not.
Down from number 6.
Okay, it is. Kyle, I Spy, featuring Lil Yachty. So it was a top 5 hit, hanging around in the top 10, still top 10 in streams, picking up at top 40 radio. So it's really become a pop hit. At this point, it's top 20 on pop radio.
Do you think radio was a little shy to get on board? It seems like it's a little later in the cycle before.
A little bit, because it's, it's a little bit more core rap than your typical top 40 hit these days.
But it does have the kind of,
Yeah, it's a little more musical than some rap. Sort of, the chorus is kind of, is it singing? Is he actually singing the chorus, the I Spy? Is it sort of singing?
I guess I guess you gotta at least have some tunes and pitch for it, yeah.
But yeah, it's come around. I think it's sort of become kind of a pop culture hit at this point. The video is really cute.
Yeah,
he seems all
the kids on
happy.
the beach. That's good.
It's a cute song, cute video. So radio's doing something with it. We'll see where it goes there. But looks like it may have peaked at number 4, down to number 8 right now.
All right, and moving on to number 7 this week on the Hot 100. Kendrick Lamar. the first of 2 Kendrick songs in the top 10 this week, DNA, period. Moving down from number 4 last week. Remember, it debuted last week at number 4 as part of really the huge album cycle of Damn, which is number 1 again this week on the Billboard 200. DNA in particular had the music video that came out last week as well with Don Cheadle, which I know people were hugely excited about online. This week, DNA is number 3 in streaming, so pulling 40 million streams. Again, the music video doing particularly well there. Like we said, the album Damn is number 1 on the Billboard 200 for a second week. And already, I mean, this week, even though it's in its second week and it falls by a significant percent, it's still this week the 4th biggest week for an album this entire year.
Right.
Last week when it was number 1, it was the biggest week for an album this entire year. So Kendrick, even in his second week, Kendrick is blowing people away.
Right, he has 2 of the 4 biggest album weeks this year for albums, and here we are in May at this point. So, you know, kind of almost
coming up,
through the year. It's the last 4 weeks. It's been Kendrick. So
yeah, and
sets a good pace for the rest of the year for him.
And like we said, of course, Humble was number 1 last week, so we'll see where it falls between 1 and 6 this week.
And DNA also joins the quirky club of terms that have been a Hot 100 hit and a Hot 100 top 10 group. Title and artist.
There's a group called DNA.
Yeah, DNA featuring Suzanne Vega. They remixed Tom's Diner before you were born in 1991. DNA was a duo, a dance EDM before it was EDM DJ duo. Remixed Tom's Diner was an a cappella song. Went to number 5. 26 years later, DNA is a song.
DNA coming around again.
It's that DNA is all connected. It's the Hot 100.
There you go.
DNA.
Paying attention. There you go. All right, that's enough DNA for now.
Number 6 in the Hot 100. Moving up from number 8, Chainsmokers and Coldplay, Something Just Like This, got to number 3. Fell down a little bit. Back up this week. The most exciting thing we can say about this song is, we say every week, doesn't it seem like the Chainsmokers have been in the top 10 for a long time? Every week the answer is yes. But how long at this point? 52 straight weeks for the Chainsmokers.
A whole year.
A year of Chainsmokers in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, this all started 52 weeks ago when Don't Let Me Down with Daya reached the top 10.
Right.
And it's been going, I mean, between Don't Let Me Down, obviously Closer with Halsey, which was number 1 for 12 weeks, Paris, and now Something Just Like This. That's 52 in a row.
So only one person has ever done that, ever in the entire Hot 100's history. Katy Perry had 69 straight weeks in the top 10 when Teenage Dream was huge. So that's from 2010 to 2011.
Yeah.
Drake came as close as possible without getting it last year, 51 weeks. Yeah. So Chainsmokers 52, Katy Perry, the only acts ever to be in the Hot 100's top 10 for a year straight.
It'd be interesting to see if 17 more weeks they can keep it up to tie Katy Perry. Obviously, with Paris not in the top 10 this week, you know.
This song is the greatest gainer in airplay, though, so that bodes well for it going forward. So you figure if it keeps gaining in airplay, it's number 3 on radio, gets a few more weeks there. Maybe there's another single that comes in. Maybe it times out.
Yeah, and especially now that they've made the year, I mean, maybe that's a little more on their mind now and going after that.
Maybe Katy Perry's new song comes out and pushes the Chainsmokers out of the top 10. She keeps the record to herself.
Wouldn't that be some revenge?
Conspiracy theory.
We'll see. All right, halfway up the countdown. We're doing a great job so far. Let's keep going.
We are.
I think number 5 this week on the Hot 100, Mask Off by Future. So the song holds at number 5. That's its peak thus far. It was number 5 last week as well. It's number 4 in streaming this week, so pulling 39 million streams. Like we saw really with Lil Uzi Vert below, Mask Off has been really exploding thanks to the Mask Off challenge on social media. You know, a lot of people playing a lot of instruments and performing, ballet, dancing, sort of the classical arts mixed with some Future music, so that's always been pretty cool to see. And Future himself is, you know, obviously actively aware of that, been tweeting out a few of them, the hashtag, and doing well.
Yeah, and there's some interesting sounds in this song as well. It kind of has some.
That flute is always
sound.
Prominent. Yeah,
right.
That seems to be the instrument of choice, I think, for rappers this year.
That was the only instrument left that had never been.
They went through the little kiddie band and they said, put some flute.
All right. Number 4 on the Hot 100, Up, making a big move this week for number 9. It's Despacito, Luis Fonsi. I'm a Red Sox fan. I hate to say Daddy Yankee.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I guess I'll say that word. Featuring
I was
Justin.
like, what does Daddy Yankee have
Just-
against the
just
Reds?
It's that word, right? See, I got rid of it.
There you go.
Featuring Bieber. Makes a big jump from 9 to 4. It's mostly Spanish language. Bieber sings about the first 40 seconds in English, but then he sings in Spanish, and the rest of the song's in Spanish. It's the first top 5 hit on the Hot 100, at least primarily in Spanish, since Macarena, Los Del Rio, back in 1996.
96.
So it's been almost 21 years.
Yeah. And I mean, the first general foreign language song mostly another foreign language since Psy had Gangnam Style back in 2012, which also seems kind of weird to think that song's almost 5 years old.
Right.
But Gangnam Style, obviously, mostly in Korean.
And the song Despacito, #1 in sales this week, so it's the top selling song in the U.S. Same thing, first foreign language song, mostly, to be #1 in sales since Psy 5 years ago. Performed on the Billboard Latin Music Awards on Thursday night.
For sure.
This is the first full week of tracking after the Bieber remix video came out, so all that momentum pushes into the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we'll see how high it can go. I mean, it's kind of crazy that people, you almost wouldn't wonder, and they had a big panel about this in the magazine last week as well, whether a song, in Spanish could go to #1 on the Hot 100.
Right.
And who knows? I mean, #4, only 3 spots to go.
And since I have the microphone here, I'm going to use it as a pointer, because look who is in the top 10 together.
Oh my God. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez.
Don't say anything. I'm just pointing.
I wonder if
it
this
out
is the
literally.
first time. Probably not.
No, I think it was last year when he had
Like
he had
Cold
all the big
Water or
hits. Well,
something?
yeah,
Yeah.
but even earlier in the year with Sorry and Love Yourself.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she was in the top 10 with Same Old Love.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. They keep finding each other in the top 10.
Not touching that. Not touching that. That's just what it is. We'll keep on moving to get away from that. Moving on, #3.
Not checking my Twitter.
Yeah.
Staying away.
Moving on to #3 this week on the Hot 100, we got Humble by Kendrick Lamar. So the song is down from #1. So there will be somebody else occupying the #1 slot this week on the Hot 100. But yes, Kendrick #3 this week still. Still #1 in streams overall. So it's up to 57, or it's at 57 million streams this week, which is down 10%. Remember last week it had a huge record-setting run, the second highest streaming total we've seen overall. So even passing Adele's Hello, huge streaming week when the album came out. Like I said, backtracks to 57 million this week,
Which is still a really
which is
big
still
number.
extremely high. Don't want to undersell that at all. But unfortunately, yeah, Kendrick has to backtrack from #1. But of course, we'll see if he can get it back. In particular, if radio continues to grab onto the song, and we'll see where it keeps going.
All right, we're up to the top 2. So it's either Ed Sheeran's Shape of You back at #1 for a 13th week, or could it mean that Bruno Mars is #1, or could it mean that something entirely
Could it be the
different
Cure? Could it be-
debuts? I'm not touching that one. What's #2? It's Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. So still at #2, 12 weeks at #1. Not #1 this week. Still #1 in radio, though, for a 12th week, which is actually, it ties a few other songs for the longest run ever at #1 in radio for a song by a male artist. So historic levels for Shape of You, but not #1 on the Hot 100 this week.
And of course, all the hooligans must be excited because if Ed's #2, Kendrick's #3, what song is left? #1 this week on the Hot 100 is
There it is.
That's What I Like. Bruno Mars. We have a hooligan in the house, it seems like. Bruno Mars is That's What I Like. Hits #1 on the Hot 100 for the first time. So had 4 weeks at #2. So a lot of people, were thinking, again, like Gary mentioned earlier, #2, one of those awful places to be stuck at. 4 weeks at #2. You thought maybe, I don't know, is it tapping out a little early? But here he is at #1. It's up 15% to 40 million in streams, and some of that coming from some of the remix packages that have been floating out there for a couple weeks.
Yeah, there's a Gucci Mane remix,
Yeah.
Party Next Door, a couple others. So that gave it a little extra push. 15 weeks it took to get to #1, so it's actually the longest since Sia's Cheap Thrills last year.
Yeah.
Took 23 weeks. It'd been a while since a solo male had taken that long to go to #1. The Hills, The Weeknd, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it waited it out.
But the wait paid off. It's Bruno's 7th #1 on the Hot 100. His first since featuring on, of course, Uptown Funk with Mark Ronson, which left for 14 weeks back in 2015. And Bruno now is the third place this decade for #1 hits among all artists. Rihanna has 9, Katy Perry has 8, Bruno right behind at 7. And with 7 #1s, he ties a few artists for #1s among males. 7th place overall, tying this week Phil Collins, Frankie Valli, and Elvis Presley.
Only Elvis Presley.
Before everybody screams, remember Elvis's career actually predated the Hot 100 by a couple of years. So some of the early ones don't make the count, unfortunately.
Right. But still, anytime you do something that ties Elvis Presley and Hot 100 history, doing something right.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, his decade has been incredible. I mean, he's really hit #1, actually for the first time 7 years ago on this same day, May 1st, 2010. He was featured on B.O.B.'s "Nothing on You." Did the hook that everyone remembers. That went to #1 7 years ago today, and 7 years later, back with his 7th #1 hit.
Look at that!
Look at that! All those lucky 7 for Bruno Mars.
It was meant to be.
So
what's interesting too is he's now had a #1 song from each of his first 3 albums.
Yep.
Because the first single from 24 Karat Magic got to #4, so now he has another #1. It's a little common, but still a really huge achievement to have #1s in 3 consecutive albums.
Yeah.
Rihanna has actually done it with 7 straight albums.
No big deal.
With Anti. I think it's
Anti.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
But Katy Perry has done it before that. Beyonce has done it. So it's sort of a rare group, but it's happened a few times. But
what do they all have in common? They're huge superstars.
Absolutely. You don't. Yeah, that's one of those. It's not like a fluky streak. Sometimes you see that, or some fluky stat. To get a #1 from 3 straight albums means
you got to be somebody.
Absolutely sustained success. So congratulations to Bruno Mars. Atlantic Records has the top 2 songs again this week with Bruno and Ed. So big celebrating for Ed, for everybody at Atlantic, and for you guys, for all the hooligans.
Yeah, hooligans out there. I know, been waiting patiently, like we said, 15 weeks, and here we are.
All right,
boy.
We have finished because we got to #1. We want to hear more from you, though. Hit us up on Twitter. I'm at GTHot20 on Twitter.
T Anderson 5569.
And if you would like a long-form deep dive into the Hot 100 and other charts, the Chart Beat podcast goes up every Thursday on Billboard.com. Trevor and I
check us out.
Talk about the Hot 100, lots of other charts, industry insider interviews, lots more. And let us know your questions. Let us know what you want to hear on the podcast. We can discuss that as well.
Yeah, and of course, be sure to tune in every Monday. Next week, we'll be back with a whole fresh new top 10 for you. We'll see if Bruno can keep his streak going. If
there could be something actually debuting fairly high next week.
Yeah, again, the power of Bieber is still there. This new DJ Khaled song with Justin Bieber, Quavo, Chance, like everybody's on it.
Yeah.
Seems to be doing really well starting out. I think you guys have probably obviously been all over it. It's #1 on iTunes for a while, streaming pretty well. So we'll see if it can make the board, and maybe, I don't know, could it knock Bruno out that quick? Who knows?
We'll get some projections. Follow on Billboard.com this week, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
On Facebook Live.
Have
Bye,
a good week, guys.
Thanks.